IRI NDI mission identified a number of key issues related to the 2019 process. To start, I'll discuss the Nigerian-led initiatives that contributed positively to the process. In preparation for the 2019 polls, Nigerians sought to increase citizen participation, particularly that of marginalized populations, to enhance confidence in the elections and minimize the risk of electoral violence. The Not Too Young to Run campaign, led by a coalition of civil society organizations, resulted in the constitutional amendment that lowered the minimum age limit for elected officials at the national, state, and local levels. The percentage of youth candidates subsequently increased from 21% in 2015 to over 34% in 2019. The number of women candidates also increased, and 6 women ran for president. The Access Nigeria campaign also resulted in the use of the Braille ballot guide, which supported visually impaired Nigerians to vote on election day. Several citizen organizations and networks monitored various aspects of the electoral process, demonstrating a significant commitment to strengthening democratic institutions and processes in Nigeria. With regards to election administration, ahead of the 2019 polls, INEC instituted several reforms, including simultaneous accreditation and voting, the posting of results at polling units, improved voter verification technologies, a more robust review of and disciplinary process for INEC staff, and enhancement of ballot secrecy and measures to reduce vote buying.
Complete the constituency delineation exercise and identify necessary polling units at least 1 year before the next elections. Make the continuous voter registration process more accessible to voters. Develop and adopt a strong strategic communications plan. Reconsider the order and timing of general elections. Create a process that facilitates suffrage for those on official duty on election day. Adopt more transparent procedures for the tabulation, transmission, and announcement of election results. On political party conduct, urgently commit to and complement measures to strengthen mechanisms for political party internal democracy. Develop and campaign on issue-based platforms that reflect citizen priorities and build the capacity of political parties to monitor elections. Civic engagement. Improve coordination among stakeholders to increase and deepen voter and civic education. Continue efforts to enhance the participation of marginalized groups, including women, youth, people with disabilities, and internally displaced persons, IDPs. On election security, continue to improve coordination between security agencies and INEC on the provision of electoral security, and enforce electoral laws by investigating and prosecuting perpetrators of election-related criminal acts.
In some of our political parties, when the person who emerges in the primaries is not in favor with the political godfather, then at times it's like all hell is let loose in the party. And there's a lot of disruption of the system. What to do about this? I'd like, first of all, to agree with what my colleague just said, that the level of desperation to get into political office itself is something that has to be addressed. The fact is that the stakes are just too high. The perquisites of electoral office in Nigeria are stupendous. So people are willing to kill and to die in order to get into those positions. And this is an issue that we must address as a nation.
But having also said that, I think that we already have law enforcement agencies that can deal with these offenses as common crimes, because mostly they are associated with violence. And violence is just a common crime. If you visit violence on a community, you should be treated as a common criminal. Or fraud, or even money laundering, where people, use money in order to buy votes. Now there's an element of money laundering in that kind of scheme. So we have institutions that are already performing these functions, and but what we need to do is to strengthen these institutions and make them perform their role instead of creating a separate institution for that purpose.
I think we must be intentional about it, and it needs to begin now. I would like to point out the reference, to make a reference to the Yaga Not Too Young to Run campaign. It was quite intentional, it was conscious. Apart from engaging the legislators at the National Assembly, there was that engagement with civil societies at the grassroots, with young people at every corner. So you can see that there was that result that came from the National Assembly for the bill to actually be assented by the President. And you can see the number of young people that emerged into the National Assembly and also the state houses of assembly. So there should be that conscious and intentional effort starting now, not until 2023.